Let's commence with business and immigration law updates. This is a presentation of the Khurana Law Firm located in Rockville, Maryland. Here, the Chief Attorney and Counselor at Immigration Law is Mr. Ramesh Khurana. Today, Attorney Khurana has alongside him Dr. Rajesh Nandan Mehra of the Medical Office of Chantilly Family Practice Center. On this set, Dr. Mehra questions Attorney Khurana on L-1 visas and certain vital issues. Let's join these two gentlemen in their dialogue.
Good morning. This is Dr. Rajesh Mehra bringing you an immigration update. We've been working very hard on the last few segments about H-1Bs and L visas. Sounds like I'm almost learning the language now. And I'm honored to have in our studios Attorney Khurana from the Khurana Law Firm in Rockville, Maryland. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Mehra, for inviting me to your studios.
Yes.
It's always a great pleasure being with you.
Well, I'm happy that just by talking to you, I'm learning the language because it's a new language, right?
I
it's
know.
like medicine, law, that's what I do all day long, but now I've got these things floating in my head, H-1Bs, L-1s, petition, EADs, see?
I can tell you, Dr. Mehra, you really ask me very intelligent questions.
Thank you.
I had to work hard to answer those questions.
Yes. And the main thing is the audience, I think, loves these discussions because they get knowledge and then they send us emails and then this is how we do it. Last week we started to cover L-1As and L-1Bs, which are two type of L visas. And again, to start the discussion today, let's just go over that for people that may not have joined us in our last discussion, the difference between L-1A and L-1B.
Dr. Mehra, first of all, I'm very pleased to hear from you that you are receiving lots of emails from the audience and they are providing you not only feedback, but asking you more questions.
Yes.
Because that's the main purpose of this episode, so that we can pass on this information to your audience. So I'm happy to hear that. Now, Dr. Mehra, you have asked me what is the difference between L-1A and L-1B. L-1A is meant for managerial or executive staff.
Got it.
And L-1B is meant for people who have specialized knowledge about the company's techniques and methodologies. So this is the primary difference between the two types of visas. And one more thing I would like to lay down here. L-1A, a person can have for a period of 7 years.
7 years?
7 years. And L-1B is available only for 5 years. Yes.
Okay. But as far as the employee is concerned, is one more beneficial than the other, or other than this time thing you just mentioned?
Sometimes this is not an option with the employee to choose whether it's L-1A or L-1B, because as I said, L-1A is meant for managers or executives. If a person doesn't meet with the job requirements of a manager or executive, he cannot be classified under L-1A.
Got it.
So he has to be classified under L-1B. But there may be a situation. Let us say a person was not working as a manager, but he comes over here and he start performing better duties for which he can be classified as a manager, then of course you can file a new petition to classify him as an L-1A person.
So there's some switchover?
Yes, switchover is possible from L-1B to L-1A, yes.
With specific requirements fitting the two blocks?
Exactly. Yes, requirement of the company has changed, or they brought in one more junior person with a specialized knowledge who is doing the duty on L-1B, and this person has got promoted now.
Right.
This person has got promoted to the level of, let's say, project manager, and now instead of doing work by himself, he is supervising three more persons with specialized knowledge or other employees. So his classification deserves to be categorized under L-1A now.
Got it. Now, as this L-1 and B continue, how does the green card petition fit in?
Yeah, Dr. Mehra, it's a little bit tricky because under L-1A, there is no requirement for the labor certification. So straightway, what we call is I-140 petition, or is called an immigrant petition, we can file right away. But under L-1B, we have to go through the U.S. Labor Department. We start by filing labor certification request, which is a very time-consuming process. Not only that it's time-consuming, it's a question of priority date. Because when you are based on L-1A category, it is EB1 category. Even India is current. So I have seen people obtaining their green card just in about 8 months to 1 year when the persons are classified as L-1A. But persons who are classified as L-1B, even if they come under EB2 category, like holding a master degree or bachelor plus 5 years of work experience or higher PhD degree, then it may take anywhere between 5 years, 7 years. And under EB3 category, for Indian nationals, it may take even 10 years.
Oh my goodness.
Because there is a country ceiling for green card numbers.
Oh, okay, obviously, right.
Because you are competing with the other beneficiaries who are interested in taking green cards coming from anywhere in the world.
But does that time get cut down if you're marrying somebody local, or local meaning a U.S. citizen?
Oh yes. Then of course it falls under the family-based category.
Which is a couple of years, or?
Not even a couple of years. We are talking about a few months.
A few months.
I have seen people who come here on L-1 visa or H-1B and getting married with U.S. citizens. I have seen people getting their green cards in 4 months.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's pretty fast.
Yeah, because then it's a different pathway.
Yeah, exactly, because that's the family-based pathway. This is the employment-based.
Employee, yeah.
Yes.
Employee. There's a lot of other people that are still waiting to jump ahead in 4 or 5 months.
Yes.
Okay. Well, you answered. What about, can the green card petition for employee be filed under A if it was originally filed under B?
That's a very good question, Dr. Mehra.
It's a hard question, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I won't say it's a hard question, but it takes a while to understand it. Let us say a person was not working in a managerial category when you brought him from overseas, right? So you brought him on L-1B status,
Right.
and person has been here on L-1B status for the last 2 years. Like we discussed one scenario whereby we said if a person gets increased responsibilities, now he is elevated to the position of a project manager and he is supervising 3 or 4 more people, right? So he can easily be categorized under L-1A category. So we strongly recommend under the circumstances, first of all, to change the L-1 petition from L-1B to L-1A. You know, otherwise it becomes very hard when you file directly the green card petition. You say that I have a managerial position available in my office and I am filing for L-1A. The moment you file, you are going to get questions from the USCIS. This person has been working on L-1B status. He never worked in overseas office. How come that you are trying to classify him under L-1A? So we strongly recommend that change the classification first from L-1B to L-1A. So once you have changed the classification, and other requirement is, don't do it during the last 6 months when you are filing the green card petition based on L-1A. So because they may see that some kind of fraud is being perpetrated here, because you just changed the classification to accommodate the employee. So when 6 months have passed, person has been working on L-1A, file the green card petition starting from I-140. Like I said, you don't have to go through the labor certification request process.
So that makes that easier.
One thing is that you are bypassing the US Labor Department process. Second is the priority date is current, even for Indian nationals. And these kinds of people can get their green cards in 4 months to 6 months.
Very interesting.
Yes.
Well, what other things can you tell us about L-1 and Bs that we haven't covered that the audience may find beneficial?
Sure. Like I said, L-1B is available only for a period of 5 years, whereas L-1A is available for 7 years. Now, let us say a person or spouse. Now, spouse can be given L2 status. A person who gets the L2 status and subsequently that person also qualifies to be categorized as L1A, like that person might have worked, right?
No, what's L2?
Yeah, L2. But the person who is on L2, that person can also file a petition for L1, right? So that is one possibility.
No, but what is L2?
L2 is available to the spouses
Only to
and children
Okay.
who are under 21.
Ah,
Yeah, but we are talking about, let's say that L2 person now wants to switch over to L1.
because they're
He
working.
can. Let's say that that person qualifies otherwise, having met the condition of working 1 year out of last 3 years, right? Now, other thing is, a person who has been working on L1A, now he decides to move to a different company. And now, if he doesn't qualify to be covered under L1, now under certain circumstances, that person can file even an H1B petition.
Now it's getting a little complicated.
Yes, little complicated. So, but that's the interesting scenario, because a person is seeing some opportunity to work with other companies. So, at least avenue is available. Let us say a person has worked with company A for 4 years. So, still he can go 3 more years on L1A, but he is not very happy with this status. Maybe company X
Wants to change.
offers him a job. He says, okay, you are getting paid with wages of 100,000. I am going to offer you 150,000 and I will start your green card process, right?
So you'll want to switch.
It's a very strong invitation and you like to join that company. So that company has the option under the circumstances to file H1B petition, and still 2 years are left.
Right.
So when 2 years are left, he can start the green card process, and once the green card process is started, like I said in one of the episodes, if 365 days have passed, you can keep on extending H1B petition. And if I-140 is approved, then you can extend H1B petition for 3 years. So this was a mix of L1 and H1B situation, which is happening quite often, and I am seeing it very frequently in my practice. So I'm glad you asked me to
If you can
discuss a
switch
few
over,
other
yeah.
scenarios. Yes,
Because there's some layover and some switching depending on how the qualifications change.
Yes, exactly.
Great. Well, I almost lost you, but I think I got it. So let's keep coming with those emails and questions, and hopefully you will join us again next week when we will bring you some very important topics on immigration law, immigration tips. Thank you, sir, for being here out of your busy schedule.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mehra. Whenever you call me, I'll be here in your studios. I love to be in your company, Dr. Mehra.
Thank you, sir.
And again, last piece of advice for the audience, please talk to your competent immigration attorney if you have some immigration questions. Thank you so much for being with us.